Happy Sabbath, church. Happy Sabbath. Let's give our Pathfinders a round of applause. I'm proud of these Pathfinders. Y'all did a good job. Now, I am a little nervous today, but I am excited. That's one thing. It's a nervous excitement. So excited. Today when I pulled up, I almost parked in pastor's parking lot. I didn't want to preach my sermon, go outside and see my car was towed. Before we go any further, let's have a word of prayer. Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for letting us be here today. Thank you for all the blessings you gave to us. Be with me as I preach. Let it be your words and not mine. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. I have a grandma. Never misses church. Through rain, sleet, snow, hurricane, tornado, avalanche. Nothing will stop my grandma from going to church. One day I was over at my grandparents' house and her car broke down. I think it was at the beginning of the week, like a Sunday or a Monday. And the first thing on my grandma's mind was, how am I going to get to church on Saturday? So we were trying to fix it, nothing happened. So she decided, if we can't go to church, let's bring the church here. So she had me and my sister, my brother, do the whole service. That was the first time when I preached in the house. So second time I preached, I was watching my dad preach, and he inspired me while he was preaching. And that day when he was preaching, in my mind, I was thinking of a good idea of a sermon. I didn't think I was going to preach it. But after church ended, somebody approached me and said, "Hey Jay, we're having a youth day. Can you preach for us?" I was like, I guess, I was already thinking about it. It was crazy. It was that day that, I thought about it. And that day, that was when she asked me. So I preached there. A couple weeks later, I get a phone call from my grandma. "Jay, we're having a youth day. Can you preach?" All right, yeah, I can do it. And then a month ago, Mr. Maxwell came up to me saying they wanted a Pathfinder preacher. So I didn't deny, and here I am. So the title of my message is The Game of Life. So to get started, there was a man, Chris Crawford. He's a game designer. He has his own little definition of what a game is or whatever. The way he explained it, which makes a lot of sense. He says, for it to start off, it has to be interactive, something you can do. But there's more than just being interactive. If it's interactive, like an action figure, it's just a toy because it has no objective. You can do anything you want with it, no objective. However, if there is an objective, like say a Rubik's Cube, now you have a challenge. The action figure is just a toy, now you have a challenge. Now you have more than one type of challenge. If you're challenging yourself, like on a Rubik's Cube, it's considered to be a puzzle because you're by yourself trying to accomplish this goal. However, if you're going against somebody like in a chess game, that is considered to be a conflict. Now there's two types of conflicts. First type of conflict, like in a foot race. If you're racing against somebody, you're going against each other, both have a goal, but you can't trip the other person, you can't push the other person, you can't interfere with what they're doing. That's considered to be a competition. However, if you can interfere with what they're doing, like football, baseball, basketball, that is considered a game. So there's 4 little factors of what he calls a game. I want you to remember this. 1 has to be interactive. 2, goal-oriented. 3, involves other agents, other people. And then 4, there are people trying to stop you from getting your goal. So by this definition, we can fit life into the game category. Because that's how life is, you know what I'm saying? So let's see if life is a game, right? There's 2 sides of the game. Satan side, God side, right? No in between, no halfway, no borderline, no crossroad of good and evil. Because really, good and evil is actually parallel roads leading in different directions. And if you know anything about geometry, you know parallel lines never intersect. There is no common point in good and evil. So you're either good or you're evil.
Preach that.
Now, my senior year in high school, I played on the soccer team. Now, I'm sure that with every other team, it all applies the same. There's always rules that you need to abide by. There's requirements that you need to have in order to play. With mine, it was you need to have a physical, passing grades, and a good attitude. Same way with being on Jesus' team. We have to abide by his team, by his rules. You know, Bible study, devotion, honesty, serving others, and one of the most important ones is prayer. Now, remember I told you to remember those 4 factors, interactive, goal-oriented, involving other agents, and people trying to stop you. And all 4 of those, we need prayer. We need to pray for all 4 of those. Okay, we're going to start off with being interactive. We have to pray and then act. We can't just pray and sit back. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's like praying that you're going to get a raise on your job, but you don't want to go to work. It's like praying to go to heaven, but you don't want to change, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do anything different. I'm trying to get my notes together. See, what we a lot of the time expect, we want God to guarantee our goal before we take a shot. But God wants us to trust him, okay? When my brother was born, when it was time for him to learn how to start walking, me and my sister, we'd be on one side, she'd be right here, sitting down. And I'd be about right here, sitting down. And we'd hold him, and we'd tell him to come here. We didn't hold his hand while he walked. We made him take his steps and walk on his own. That's what Jesus did when he walked on water. And he told Peter, come here. He did not go to the boat, carry his hand while he got out. He made him get out. Peter had to have faith and walk on the water. But the thing is that God, he will never go too far to where you will fall. Notice how when Peter got there to Jesus, he sank. But Jesus was right there to get him. With my brother walking, we started off close and got farther and farther, challenging himself without holding his hand through it. So we got to take the first step, and God will bless us. Now, I had an issue with that. A month ago, they asked me if I wanted to preach, so I had a month to prepare. So I'm thinking, all right, it's cool, you know. So I'm just, waiting for God to give me ideas. I'm thinking they're gonna just pop into my head. Apparently, that's not what happened. To tell y'all the truth, I didn't get back on my sermon until this last Wednesday. Until I said, okay, it's time. I got to do something. Got on it and started thinking of more ideas as soon as I got on it. Next, we have goals. We want to pray that we can accomplish our goals and our objectives. Saving souls, fishing for men. Sometimes we have big goals and we don't know if we can accomplish that. But I heard I think it was a commencement speech, 2014. It was a guy, he was in the Navy. His name was Admiral William McRaven. And he told this little story about when he was in the military, every morning you're required to make your bed perfectly. Corner square, sheets pulled tight, pillow centered, and an extra blanket at the foot of the bed. Now, making the bed was the first completed task of that day that will give you a sense of pride and encouragement for the bigger task that you'll have to face later on that day. And even if one day you have a bad day, you will come home to a bed that's already made so that tomorrow you can do better. Now, praying for others. Now, one of these things, like I said, people are trying to stop you from getting to your goal, those are the people God wants us to pray for. He wants us to love our enemies. All right, let me give you our scripture, Matthew 5:44. Say amen when you have it. Again, that's Matthew 5:44. And it says, "But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you." Now I want y'all to skip to 46 when it says, "For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same?" So basically he's saying, if you don't love your enemies because they hate you, that makes you no different than your enemy. So basically, if you don't love your enemies and somehow somebody cloned yourself and you look at yourself, you would not like yourself. So, by definition, life can be a game. And life is the biggest, most complicated game on earth. Knowing what the correct next move is isn't easy. Feedback isn't always immediate. Our reward doesn't come as quick as we want. Yeah. Rules are complicated. Yeah. And methods for achieving our goals is different for everybody. So look, this is why games are made. I'm talking more than just football, basketball. I'm also talking about video games here. These games are made to ensure you fast, easy to achieve rewards that life faster than life itself. This is why we like playing games. Now check this out. Anybody ever watch football, basketball, baseball, any of that? You would know that the teams are different colors, okay? And they got their name and their number on their jersey. So you know who they are. And if you were playing just by looking at the color of their jersey, you would know whether they were a friend or a foe. In life, you don't know whether people are a friend or a foe. Because in games, people are color-coded. In life, people are sugar-coated. This is why games are as big as they are. We as humans, we like to feel good. And games make us feel good. You know what I'm saying? So, as humans, we like to feel accomplished. And games provide a psychological reward faster than life itself, which is why games come to two things: procrastination and addiction.
Yes, yes.
Now, this is exactly where the devil wants us to be. Procrastinating and being addicted.
Yes.
Now, he wants us to be satisfied in a bad place. He wants us to be happy with something that's not good for us. A couple months ago, maybe it was like a year ago, we had watched a movie in a chapel called God's Not Dead. Now, in that movie, it was this man. He was, I guess you could say, not the nicest guy, but he had his own little company or whatever. He was making his money. He was good, but he didn't treat people the way they should be treated. Now, he had a mom that had Alzheimer's where she forgets stuff. Sometimes she doesn't even know if that's her son or that's her daughter or who's walking through the door. She eats chicken every day thinking, she hasn't had chicken in a long time. So, near the end of the movie, the man doesn't believe in God, but his mother does. And near the end of the movie, he asks his mom, "Mom, you got Alzheimer's, all this bad stuff happening to you, but you believe in God, and look at me, I don't really believe in God, but I'm doing just fine." And what the mother tells him is that sometimes Satan will put you in a cell. A comfortable cell that you would feel comfortable not wanting to leave. Bed, real comfortable, nice toilet, all that. And then he wants to keep you there until it's too late. When Jesus comes back, then the door will shut. It'll already be too late. And I heard this other illustration of where this woman, she was sitting at a bar on a chair. A man was looking at her. Chair broke, head, she's knocked out. Ambulance came, got her out. Another girl came, sat on that same chair. Now it's a comfortable chair, I'm assuming, because she didn't want to get off. When the man came up to her, he said, no, this chair is broken, I think you should sit in this chair. And I guess she had an attitude with him. Like, no, I'm fine, you know, she probably had a bad day or whatever. I like this chair. And he was really trying to give, but there was only so much you can do. So he was like, all right. So the chair broke, she's knocked out, and she has to go to the hospital as well. See, sometimes Satan, he will get us addicted to the bad stuff and keep us there till it's too late. And that's how he traps us. Now the devil, he is tricky.
Yes, he is.
He will tell you something. He will, how do I say this? He will make things seem good while stirring up an evil plan behind your back. Now I'm going to tell you about this card trick I played on my friend the other day. So we were just chilling. I'm walking around the house, I see cards, so I get the deck of cards, like, oh, I'm about to fool him. Alright, so I do a couple tricks, you know, I'm tricking him like 2 or 3 tricks. And then he tells me this next trick, I'm not going to trick him on. So I'm like, yeah, alright, we'll see about that. So I'm going to show y'all the trick or whatever. So what I do is I fan out the cards. And I tell him, pick a card. He picks a card, he looks at it. Right? Memorize the card, and I tell him, slide the card back. Now when he slides the card back in, I'm looking to see where he put the card. And then this is what I do. I pick the cards up like this and I show him the deck. And I say, look, nothing is wrong with the cards. Everything of the cards are the same. There's nothing different. But while I'm telling him that, behind here, I'm looking at the card and I'm bending the card so that I know which card it is. So I'm telling him that nothing's wrong with the card while I'm messing up the card. Now I'm telling him something good. The only reason I said that it was something good so that I can do something evil behind them as a cover-up. So let me keep going. So I shuffle the cards, and that card's still bent. So then I split the deck or whatever, and then I'd be like, is this your card? And I knew it was his card, but he told me, that's not my card. And we're arguing back and forth. I know for a fact that was his card. So, and my friend, he likes to trick me sometimes, so this is what happened. I'm be like, all right, we're gonna do this trick again, but this time when you pick your card, take a picture of it so that I can see. Like, all right. So he's looking at the deck. While we was arguing, he was looking at the deck. Now he dropped the card while we was arguing. I seen the card, but I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought, he dropped the card. I didn't see, pick it up or anything like that. So I started the trick over again. Pick a card. He picks a card, and he's about to take a picture of it. Now what he does is he goes under the table because tells me he's trying to get a better picture of it. When really he's taking a picture of it, setting it back down, picking the card he dropped, and placing that one in the card, in the deck. So he places it in there, and I do the little trick, nothing's wrong with the card, bring the card, shuffle them up. I mean, this is your card. He's like, that's not my card. I know that's your card, let me see the picture. He's like, all right, I see the picture. I'm like, what? I'm looking over the house for that card, and then I'm like, and then he gives me, that look when somebody play a trick on you, they give you that look, and you can tell, all right. See, sometimes Satan will try to tell us good things and do bad things behind our back. But if we keep doing what we know is right, then you are flipping the card back on the devil and tricking him in his own trick. But I said earlier, he's pretty good at making bad things look good. So how can we be sure? And this is where another one of his tricks is confusion, where you're in the middle, when really there is no middle. God's rules is that you're with me or not. You know what I mean? Satan, if you're in the middle, if you think you're in the middle, he's got you. Exactly where he wants you to be. So how do we keep doing the good thing when the devil tries to confuse us? By prayer and reading the Bible, talking to Jesus is probably one of the most important ways that God will keep our mind on track. So he wants to get addicted to all this bad stuff, but what about getting to the good stuff? So there are some 5 senses we had that trigger our addictiveness, like seeing, hearing, feeling, smelling, all that good stuff. You know, like, have you ever heard a song sounded so good you just play it over and over and over again? That can be considered addiction because you keep going back to the same song because it sounds so good. But if you hear something you don't like, or somebody just yammering their mouth, shut up, man. You don't want to hear it. If it's bad, you don't want to hear it. If it's good, then you want to keep doing it. Same with all 5 of our senses. But if I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure it felt good when a sick lady just touched Jesus' robe. I'm pretty sure it smelled good when Jesus multiplied the bread and the fish. And if he could create all of this, I'm pretty sure it tasted pretty good as well. And when Mary went to go see Jesus in the cave, and the angel said, "He is not here," I bet those were the best words she could ever hear. So if God can give us all these good things to our senses, why aren't we more addicted to Jesus Christ? Maybe it's because we don't realize how good God is to us. Maybe we're not counting our blessings the way we should, because God blesses us every day in ways you can't even imagine. You know, the thing about these addictions on earth is different than being addicted to Jesus Christ. So I'm going to tell y'all a story. Like a couple years ago, Christmas, I got this new game for my Xbox, Modern Warfare 3. That game, played it every day, 5 hours straight. Didn't even feel like 5 hours. Time just flew by. So I'm playing story mode, and I'm passing each level, and then I finally get to the last level. Beat it. Now what? I can't play it anymore. See, the thing with being addicted to these worldly things is that worldly things will not last forever. Worldly things are not going to take you to heaven. Worldly things can't do pretty much nothing for you. So all of our addictions we have to get rid of. And the church is the best rehabilitation center in the world. So I'm going to give you I know I kind of blew through this sermon. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer. So 1 John 2, verses 16 and 17. Say amen when you have it. And it says, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world." And 17, "And if the world passes away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever." So let's try to get ourselves back addicted to Jesus Christ, so we will have that eternal happiness and joy.
Brother Bruce, I want to thank you for letting God use you in the second half.